Because these are all big prize numbers. I know very well. The future of the world economy will be chaotic. However, equipment trading between players continues. And all paid in cash. So I have to get enough money. I then invested the money. Another lavish home. My brother thought it was too luxurious to live for two. I told him the more expensive the house, the better the security. Because players are on the first day of every month. The souls will go to the game. And this is when we are most vulnerable. So avoid accidents in the real world. The second round began 2 days later. I touched my brother's head and told him not to worry. I open my eyes again and appear in the game world. Everyone recognizes me as number one last time. But they deliberately kept their distance from me. At this very moment, the angel appeared out of nowhere. Everyone wondered why not the original angel. He explained that the previous angel had had an accident. The second round of the game will be guided by him. Then the angel began to announce the rules this time. No fighting this time. But the player needs to be there within 3 hours. Elect a regional representative. Once the operation is complete, it is teleported back to reality. Elected representatives of the world can dominate all players in the area. It can even make the difference between life and death for others. People here not to die. Be overwhelmed with joy. But I know it's not the most important task. Because there's a hidden quest in round 2. But it has to be level 10. So I found a goblin on the outskirts of the forest. Go in there and kill it in a flash. There are too few monsters out there. Then I chose to go deeper into the forest where it was more dangerous. There are countless goblins in here. Ordinary people come here. I'm so scared I'm gonna pee my diapers. I just smiled with excitement. In my eyes, they are nothing more than experience points. Half an hour later, I managed to get up to level 9. I didn't hesitate. It directly adds all the attribute points to agility. Just then, I suddenly noticed something different. I was busy fighting. I didn't realize there was a man behind me. So I raised my dagger and told the man to get out. The voice just stopped. A woman came out from behind the tree. She quickly apologized to me. He said he meant no harm. He turned and called his companion past. But when I see a man's face, pupils suddenly tighten sharply. Because this man is the devil's right-hand man. He's a very powerful player. Not only that, Devi is one of the guys I'm looking for. But here's what puzzles me. I shouldn't have met him at this time. Is it the female star next to it? Causing the butterfly effect. And change the course of the future. But I hated it so much. Because it makes the future unpredictable. Therewith, I impatiently questioned the reason for the stalking. The female star nervously explained. I see you're number 1 on the list. So I wanted to team up with you. I just said no without even thinking about it. Not to mention the baggage to carry. It's more important to get up to level 10. Because round 2 is about to end. Then I went alone into the depths of the forest. After a slaughter along the way. I'm in werewolf territory. Here's what excites me. I can't believe there were 5 of them. The next second 5 werewolves leap up. Came at me. Seeing this, I directly cut a number of knives. In an instant, 5 werewolves were chopped to $800. Then the system says congratulations on reaching level 10. You meet the requirements for a transfer. As I take out Angel Joy, the system prompts whether to transfer to death. I clicked yes without hesitation. In an instant, my body was enveloped in a rich, dead breath. A few moments later, I made the transition to a rare professional death. He also earned the death rune. And a sickle of death's own. Because he was the first player to complete the transfer. The system rewards a huge amount of gold. But he used the money to buy a tracking skill. Because next, there will be a fly constantly harassing you. What a coincidence. This player happened to be near me. It's just so you can observe the situation in secret. At the same time, female stars move slowly because of injuries. At this moment, the flies and their little boys came after them from behind. And he wants a female star to eat French bread. Two people can't run away. Draw the dagger and prepare for a fight to the death. And I just walked out of surgery. For saving the devil's henchman. We'll get in her good graces. A lot of reward for a kid like this. Then I took out the sickle of death. Tell flies and others to kneel and beg for mercy. Or break my scythe. In this case, a few people were suddenly scared, stunned. Hesitate to do sth. Then I made a sarcastic remark about iron. I love telling the truth. Now get down on your knees. Maybe I can spare you. The fly was a little scared at first. But I think of my power to break down walls. They started yelling right away. I immediately put away the sickle of death. You don't need a weapon against this shit. Then I ducked over. The fly had no time to react before I kicked him in the stomach. It flew tens of meters away in an instant. Then I came to him again. Fists rained down on his face. At this time, the younger brother saw the elder brother was abused. Took out a bow and arrow and shot it at me. And I was impatient with the scene. A fly is a fly. Is it annoying everywhere you go? Then he took out the sickle of death. Take out the rest of them in one fell swoop. But it didn't kill anyone. Just cut off their arms. After all, they'll be needed on the regional ballot later. Besides, there are fewer people. There will also be fewer people crossing the border. Finish it all. They bowed to me in gratitude. At this time, the man opened his mouth and said his name was Nshanja. I'll be paid handsomely afterwards. And I said no. Turned and walked deeper into the woods. After all, it's the devil I want in return. At the same time, regional voting has entered a heated stage. All men want to have supreme power. Some even fought over it. At this point, a strong man could not bear it anymore. A bunch of trash wants to be district rep. He then pulled out a dagger and erased a player's watermelon. He even threatened people not to vote for him. This is what happens. At this point, one player doesn't like the man's behavior. That he would meet justice in the future. But in return for that, a merciless killing. This scene frightened the faces of the people. The strong man smiled an evil smile. Then everyone will be afraid of reprisals. So vote for me when I became a delegate. Let's take care of the black scythe guy first. Hardly realize how ridiculous his idea seemed to me. At the same time, I've been killing monsters through constant fighting. It's up to level 16. As voting time approaches, all players are teleported to the starting point. But I just got teleported back. The strong man on the side came menacingly towards me. He offered to take me as his boy. I don't know who gave him the courage to be so arrogant. And I don't want to talk to him anymore. He pulled out his sickle of death. The smell of killing filled my body. The strong man was frightened by this scene and did not dare to say more. I know I messed with the wrong guy. But I didn't do it. After all, he's the district representative. It could be useful in round 3. Then the angel suddenly appeared. He gave the crowd 5 minutes to vote. Players who fail to vote within the time limit will be erased. As voting time ends, the angels announced the list of votes received. The first place is not surprisingly strong man. In this case, the strong man showed a proud expression. Next thing you know, it's a donkey's face. Because this skill can force the player to control. But it can only be used 10 times. It is also not available to players of a teammate's class. But as a reincarnation. I know that, of course. So the transfer was completed as quickly as possible. Then the angel spoke again. There is also a hidden mission in this round. Once the player reaches level 10, a transfer mission is triggered. And the only player in the district to make the switch. And the first person in the region to complete a transfer. But good. Angels don't know what it takes to be death. Only know is the only hidden profession. Therewith, the angel gave me the first prize in the district.